Respected viewers, we begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does it apply to other shoes like sneakers that cover the ankle as well? Also, for instance, if you work in a wet and dirty area, can we also apply the same technique regardless of the type of shoes? Pertaining to khuf, what is important is that it must cover all the way up to the ankles and including the ankles, and it must be waterproof, and it must be shoes that are that can stand, that are durable. Shoes that are durable. So this includes any sneakers, this includes any boots. So it is regardless about the type of shoes. What is important is that the conditions must be present. That it must cover up to the ankles. It must be waterproof. It must be durable. That is enough. That is enough. So even if a person use the boots and use in the markets, for example, that is permissible. So it doesn't mean that the top part must be covered fully. What is important is cover all the way up above the ankles. That is enough. So this includes many types of shoes. So if you understand these conditions, inshallah there is no any issue. The next question asking, what is the ruling for henna during weddings? Does it require to be a certain color? Are there hadiths on it? Pertaining to henna, it is a sunnah for the bride to use henna during any wedding. This is mentioned, for example, in Muqaddimah Hadramiyah, for example. It is a sunnah for the bride to use henna. This is a form of beautification, especially when it comes to weddings. But what is important for us also to take note that what is mentioned by the author of Muqaddimah Hadramiyah when he said that it is only for the husband and to be shown to only to the ladies, because we have an opinion in Madhab al-Imam Shafi'i that the hands of a woman is part of the body part that is wajib for her to cover. So we have an opinion within the Madhab al-Imam Shafi'i that the hands and the face that it is compulsory for women to cover when it comes to being in front of those who are non-mahram, men who are non-mahram. So because of this, you find in Muqaddimah Hadramiyah, he mentioned, the author mentioned that if it's sunnah for ladies to wear henna during weddings, but it is not permissible for her to show the hand to the ajnabi, men who are non-mahram. So she wears the henna, and the henna specifically for the husband, and likewise it is permissible for her to show for the woman folk. So what is happening in our society today is very different, and you find brides wearing henna and showing the hands to the rest of the people around her. So this is not appropriate. So this is a thing that we have to know. If you understand this ruling, we should understand that there are differences amongst the scholars pertaining to showing of the hands, especially when there is any henna. So once we know this ruling, then we should abstain. When it comes to wedding. Answer this to an atheist. If you say that your religion forbid you from mocking other religions, then why are the Buddha statue that are thousands of years old destroyed by the Taliban in Afghanistan? In Afghanistan, what are the scholars ruling on this incident when the Taliban blew up the Buddha statue? Pertaining to the situation in Afghanistan, the Buddha statues in Afghanistan, this is an abandoned site. Nobody is worshipping those statues. This is in accordance to what the scholars in Afghanistan are saying, and the Taliban themselves are saying. The since you have these statues there, nobody is worshipping these statues anymore. These are all statues, and it is abandoned site. So they take the decision to break these idols, because this is state-owned. This is state-owned. If you are the government of a country and you want to get rid of a certain statue, for example, or certain things, and it is not affiliated to any worshippers in your country, then it is permissible for you. It's permissible for you to do so. But in the situation where there are people who are worshipping, for example, practicing certain religions in certain societies, then it is not permissible for the Muslims to break those idols, because it is based on what we always any mention any that Islam la ikraha fid din, there is no any compulsion any in religious sense that it has been invalidated, because it has not been invalidated. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. May I know if this is possible, may I pay my zakat harta in monthly installment for those past years which I have not fulfilled during my ignorant days, and the amount duration is based on my best effort to calculate, and anything extra will treat as sadaqah. Yes, and you can. This is considered to be a making up and for the past years the zakah and that you have not paid. So what you need to do, and firstly, and is you have to calculate how much any is your zakah. Then only monthly, any when you have any the money, you set aside any to pay any the zakah. So on when comes any to the payment any of zakah, you must any make any the intention any as zakah and not sadaqah. So you have any to know how much any is your zakah, and then after that yani you pay back any based any on your capacity. But the upcoming any zakah, you have any to follow the haul. You have any to follow yani when your zakah yani is due, and it is compulsory yani upon you yani to pay when the time yani comes. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. Untuk orang yang nak nikah perlu ada 2 saksi lelaki. Saksi ini boleh sesiapa yang ada di majlis nikah. Adakah saksi untuk pengantin wanita sahaja atau perlu ada saksi yang berlainan untuk pengantin lelaki sahaja? Lelaki juga. Berkenaan dengan saksi, sesiapa saja boleh menjadi saksi selagi mana syarat saksi itu ada kepadanya. Daripada syarat ini saksi adalah dia bukan wali bagi wanita itu, dan dia mesti orang yang adil. Orang yang adil ini maksudnya tidak melakukan dosa besar dan tidak melakukan dosa kecil dengan berterusan. Jadi sama ada daripada pihak lelaki ataupun daripada pihak wanita. Biasanya adat kita di Singapura, kita ambil satu daripada pihak lelaki, satu daripada pihak perempuan. Ini dalam segi kita mengatakan adat sahaja. Tetapi berkenaan dengan saksi, sesiapa saja ini boleh menjadi saksi apabila mereka menepati syarat-syarat tersebut. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. May I know, I want to know, is it okay to perform any umrah during COVID, or it is better to stay home to lower the risk of spreading COVID? Anywhere, the doctor is saying that he has certain disease that if he afflicted with COVID, and for example, it can result in death. In this situation, it is better to prevent oneself from going to umrah. And when it comes to spreading COVID, of course, we have all this. The days that when a person reaches Singapore, for example, he has to do all this quarantine and so on and so forth. So all these procedures will prevent someone from the spread of COVID in the community. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. Is it permissible to perform ablution and salat for a person who's working that involve checking of bin shoes for golden inspections? Yes, it is permissible to perform ablution and salat for those people, as long as there is no najis, that he is convinced there is no najis. So when it comes to checking in the bin shoes, these are dirt and things that are dirty. So when it comes to taking ablution, and make sure a person clean himself from the traces of those dirty things, then he performs the prayers, and the prayer is valid. Assalamualaikum salam. Is it haram to receive money that was compensated from the tragic death of someone? So the question is asking, what I understand from this question, is that someone passed away, and then somebody else became the reason for that death. So there is a compensation that was paid to the family of the deceased. Is this compensation halal? Yes, and this is considered to be the blood money, adiyah. So even in secular law, untuk menjatuhkan silaturahim, ini adalah dosa daripada dosa yang besar. Kita mengelakkan diri kita daripada melakukan perkara-perkara seperti ini. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. If I have a family member who passed away and he still owe money to my late grandfather, can I donate the money that is owed for charitable causes in the name of my late grandfather? Yes, you can. So make the intention that you are paying the debt of your grandfather to that family member. You will get the reward from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So this is